man.
It's an island that blocked travel off to everybody else, so eventually something's gonna give.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Someone, yeah, I get you. All
Or
right.
some guy like comes in on like a raft or like just a cruise ship or something. He's just like, "Hey, guy." Like,
and then it's already too late.
yes, exactly.
It's already
too
gotcha.
late. And the like New Zealand Prime Minister's just like, "Our reputation."
Yeah. Oh, great.
Not this guy.
All right. So.
And then they kill him.
You know what I like about JayRay, man? I feel like
What do you like about JayRay, man?
JayRay is actually pretty.
Ah!
Oh my goodness.
That was so smart.
Oh yeah, that was a really good play coming out from Beast.
What do you like about JayRay, though?
I like how aggressive he plays. Like playing very aggressively fit trainer. Like usually not a character known for aggression, but honestly, if you have deep breathing, why not run in and throw out some hits? You know.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, deep breathing being buffed the way it is, you know, hitboxes hitting on both sides of you, like F-tilt, jab, forward air, forward smash. Very unique property of the character.
Oh,
so
yeah.
at that point, you know your opponent is going to be playing OD scared because of deep breathing. Might as well afford to be able to be a little aggressive every now and again. That's a really good observation, Chris.
Yep. So he's mostly been on top of Beast for like majority of this game. You know what I mean? It's a big change of like pace because sometimes
God.
Wow. Beast has actually been getting a lot of that kind of Ivysaur stuff this whole day. I ended up sort of clutching out a set against Dan and Nan earlier with Ivysaur. And this time just kind of
here.
What the heck?
What happened, man? Oh, don't be lag testing that, JayRay.
No, dude, actually the connection looked pretty good from here. That was just really good plays coming out from Beast. That was crazy.
Somebody call the fairy godmother, man, because that was a bippity boppity boop.
Yeah,
holy moly.
That went like in a really weird direction too, because it looked like JayRay was playing pretty solidly to start, and then I don't know, Beast just really started to. That was a rough start. I mean, all things considered, JayRay still wasn't looking bad, but I don't know, Beast has really started to turn up at some point.
Yeah, it really
was. Because then you
was.
saw that, and then you got some of this coming out right after.
Yeah, all I'm saying is that this is a best of 5. So you know that JayRay is going to be thinking about how he was DIing those nairs. You know he's going to be thinking about how he was DIing those nairs to have it confirm into a Vine Whip. Twice.
Yeah.
I don't care how good or bad you are at the game. You get hit by that twice in a game, you should think to yourself, okay, that's a problem. I shouldn't let that happen again.
Yeah, well, Beast is using it as he's basically probing the whole frickin' blast zone. Because he's noticing at JayRay, I mean, as he should, as a Wii Fit trainer, you have good recovery. You could drift away, usually safely, but if you have, like, the tools that Ivysaur has, you could sort of just literally put the feelers out. And then...
Pretty much.
Yeah.
It's on both sides, you know, big character. You can definitely scrap in the meat, but, like, not as easily as some other characters, I suppose. I don't know if Beast is mashing there. He's definitely mashing some special move, but every time he gets buried, do you hear the Pokemon trainer yell Charizard?
Yeah, I actually noticed that. I didn't know what that was.
I don't know what that was either. I mean, I'm pretty sure, like, when you do special moves with Pokemon Trainer, they, like, the trainer themselves has, like, special animations for it. Like, for a side B and an up B and, like, a neutral B and whatnot. You know what I mean? But not necessarily for the character's normals. So, not teching that up B right there on the way back. And he's going to lose the stock for it. So, I don't know if Beast is just using, like, you know, the special button to mash. Maybe that's why that's happening. I have no idea why. Or maybe, like, the character just, like, it's like a little Easter egg where they just, like, yell. Like,
I wonder
if they're, like, if their Pokemon is in trouble. I don't know
if that's a thing. That'd be interesting if it were. I would have never noticed before. I barely even noticed it now. So, yeah man, this is... I think, Beast literally, I think it just kind of goes back to chasing JayRay off stage, because that really seemed to be like kind of the trick, especially in game 1. But instead, now JayRay does still have like a pretty good lead, and yeah, usually see the teabags coming out from Beast in situations like these. When you're dealing with like an obscure character, where maybe there's some patience required, I feel like he kind of tries to go for the tilting then option. It works sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Beast is the kind of player who definitely, like, loves to do, like, stuff that he knows is very janky. He knows that Charizard is the kind of character that people really hate to lose to. It's like, why did I lose to a Charizard, man? Nobody plays this character. You know, he might be good, but whatever. I know how to deal with him. And he proves that a lot of people really just don't. You know what I mean? Because Charizard, in my opinion, is by no means a top tier. But, like, he's definitely up there, and, like, not as many people like to... A lot of people sleep on this character, in my opinion. Despite, you know, Beast proving what this character has been able to do over the years. But yeah, Beast is the kind of player who... He loves to, like, get in opponents' heads. He loves to show how confident he is. He loves to just really, like, flex that muscle every now and again, especially against characters that he doesn't like or deems annoying, you know, which, you know, as a smasher, he definitely has. Everyone does. But, yeah, Beast a little bit of confidence here, but is it going to be enough as JayRay takes the lead and the advantage right here in the second game, getting all the way up to 89 for 93? Crystalodian, my goodness, look at this Wii Fit literally and metaphorically flex.
Yeah, well, you kind of mentioned it, man. Playing against these characters, Wii Fit definitely qualifies as one of those characters. Oh, here comes the lab. Qualifies as one of those characters that is kind of difficult to play against. You know, maybe, you know, one could say annoying if you want to take the tilted approach to this game, but in either case, like, you still have to figure it out. But you take any sort of mental edge you can sometimes. Oh my god, that's twice. Speaking of things you got to tighten up and fix. We saw Beast die twice, that exact same kind of scenario. I actually think I could probably get them back to back here, but...
What is with these reversals?
I don't know, this has been...
We saw that last set between Beast and Joss Marlu, right? Where, like, in what was technically the game 2, like, he, like just steamrolled him as much as Beast steamrolled, you know, Joss Marlu the first game. And killed him the same way. And then this is the same way. Like, Beast killed him twice with that Nair Vinewood confirmed before. And then he died the same way twice here.
I don't know, dude. Today's been kind of like that. I don't know what that is. Like, where there's, like, patterns happening, you know? You establish them, but it's also just like, well, I don't know, just gameplay, bro.
Something about you commentating by yourself just brings out, like, the patterns, man.
My subconscious is just so, it's airtight like that. It'll loop cool stuff. Or it'll,
you remember
I
got kicked out of the, you remember, like, the Wi-Fi stopped working in my house, specifically on my computer with my Ethernet cable, and that's how our conversation ended the other night?
Yep.
Yep. That's how this conversation might end between Beast and JayRay here. With this almost 0 to death right here. All these beautiful Ivysaur up air strings. But he's still living. Let's see what insurance he'll be able to tack on here. Potentially even the first stock. He plays his cards right, but he is tucked in the corner right now. Gonna fight his way out, and he does! And Beast fights his way out in the scrap, man. Some players know how to fight their way out of the corner. Beast knows how to fight his way out and to the punch in the scrap, my friends. Right in the meat. That is where Beast loves to fight, and it's where he usually wins his fights. Like right here, too!
Almost.
Yep, there you go. He wasn't gonna fall for that again.
A good defense coming out, though, from JayRay. I mean, that was a kind of a scary place to be, and is sort of in... It's a very sort of up and down territory with Beast, where, you know, 1 minute you're up and the next second you're down. But is kind of pulling things back together. Got deep breathing out, was enough to take it with that F tilt, and now comes a little bit more of the patience game. Because, you know, we got to see a little bit of impatience from Beast earlier. Not as much from JayRay. I actually think JayRay slowed down his whole pace a lot.
He kind of has. You know, like you were mentioning how aggressive like this Wii Fit trainer is, and I can definitely agree with you to that extent. But you were talking about the tilt game before, and if I'm being completely honest, I don't think Beast is the only one who likes to go for that with the teabags and whatnot. I think JayRay is also among the ranks of knowing how like people really despise his character and don't like to lose to them. And if he can just adapt on the fly like he's been doing right now and just frankly pressing less buttons, throwing out a lot more fireballs and sun salutations against a big body like Charizard, if that's going to tilt him, then so be it. You have that on your side, it's definitely something you got to keep in mind like going in forward, because it's not just something to keep in mind as a strategy, it's also just something to know. Because when you know your opponent is playing tilted, that lets you like sort of guesstimate what their options are going to be a little bit more. It sort of just creates like a whole different ballpark of guessing what options they're going to pick, because, oh, this is what a person who's scared would do here, and this is what a person who's confident would do here with a flare blitz from the ledge at 168%. Beast going up in stocks.
Yeah, and that is a very Beast that's a very Beast option to take, where it is very unsafe. And it could definitely lead to disaster for you, especially at 184. But instead ends up getting a stock off of it. And that is the kind of option that does work sometimes. Because it looked like JayRay was just kind of getting the position to, you know, anticipate what Beast was going to do. Whether it be a neutral get up, whatever, jump. And instead ends up dead. So we'll see if you know, the window is narrowing. Does get hit now by another Flare Blitz. What they're able to figure out.
You know, one of the benefits of having a move like as powerful as that while still damaging yourself is that it doesn't matter as much because you're one of the heaviest characters in the game. And Beast knows that for sure. Like right there. Oh my god, the forward air whipping!
Wow.
But he still dies!
You know, we take those if you're JayRay, because this is definitely not looking very good. Still not looking very good.
Yeah, tries 2 projectiles to make his way back. Whipping them both, Beast not taking either of those. Deep breathing is gone right now. You know this man is going to be trying to get it back as soon as he's able to get a moment to recharge that properly because it is a little slower. I love the hold back right there on JayRay, holding back on that side B, making sure the little aerial drift he gets out of that jump from the side B still works, but nothing doing there. Not able to get it that time. Beast with the forward smash. Catching his landings and crushing his dreams. 2-1 in the favor of Beast right now in our best of 5.
Yeah, these are really hard-fought games, like, because JayRay is in the position to, like, win these games, just not really getting them. I mean, it is still 2-1, you know, it's not like he's just not doing anything. Like, that was a good option.
That tech is hard itself. You can't just do it by smashing down on the stick. You actually have to hit, like, in, like, the corner, you know, like the diagonal bottom corners of the stick. You actually, like, that's how you cancel it, by just walking forward for a second and then crouching. That's how you're able to crouch that fast and, like, do the teabagging. Just a little bit of, in case you want the real tech, in case you want the real important tech. Let me explain to you guys here on the DNA stream.
Dude, Beast's getting a lot of mileage out of Ivysaur this entire day.
He really has. Yeah,
because what's that, like 3 kills at least in this set have come from Ivysaur, probably 4. 5 possibly. No, probably like 4. If I'm trying to like think back, but in any case, a whole lot of mileage. Usually we only really get to see the Beast Charizard, but yeah, I was gonna say only in rare circumstances do we ever really see Squirtle come out. It looked like at that point it just sort of flowed, because got a few percent and then quickly gets rid of them.
Sometimes that's all you. Oh, you're fine. You're fine. Don't burn all your jumps right there, my friend. Not against a Wii Fit trainer. You know, JayRay out here definitely showing you that they love to be an aggressive Wii Fit, but do not forget what this character can do off of the level.
Oh yeah,
it's where they live, man. Jonathan Numerals has shown us for years what this character is capable of.
Plays the whole character off the stage. Yeah. Not like what we're seeing right here. That's what I was admiring earlier. Is basically how aggressive JayRay is, because this character, Wii Fit, could definitely be used very much just as a, you know, stall off stage and chip damage here and there, and then come in for the kill. But yeah, there are other ways to play this character, and we're seeing it. JayRay is definitely standing the ground very, very well, and gets caught with another Flare Blitz.
Once again.
But
unfortunately, are we going to get our DC?
Is it going to be
this
DC?
Might be on our end. I think the match might be going.
I mean,
I have a very good feeling. Yep.
I kind of hope it is at least still going for them, as much as I would like. Nope, one of them.
It was one of them?
Yep, that's why it's no contest. Otherwise, it would have just put me out in the arena. So we'll see. I don't know who's dropping. Oh,
it was B.
Looks like we had a Game 5 situation.
Is somebody streaming in their household or something? Is like Beast does Beast with like at his family's? Are they watching Netflix? Is his sister also in like a Skype conversation and a Discord combo at the same time? Is Lyric streaming on like 2 different channels at the same time right now?
Well, I could tell you no, because
he's trying to be in a Wi-Fi tournament.
No, because Lyric actually hosted this stream a little while ago. Also, thanks, Lyric.
Thank you, Lyric. Appreciate that.
So it's not that option, but at the very least, there is another game to come of this. Hopefully, one that doesn't DC.
Yes, indeed. For sure. It happens, man, in the era of Wi-Fi tournaments. I was talking with Skiff on Twitter today, and he was saying something about like how like what did this man say to me on Twitter.com today? He said something about like, oh, I don't know if this is a hot take, but he thinks that online's here to stay. Like that's like some people would play strictly offline, but you know there was still an online scene before the pandemic and whatnot. And I agree with him in saying that it's not going to die out, but why? Let's let it die out. This game's netcode is horrendous. I think people would much rather play the game offline, to be honest. I don't know. I'm just saying.
All right, they're going for a restart, by the way.
That's cool.
I
so
was
it's going to be a reset of game.
Yeah, I was just
4.
Yeah, so we're looking at game 4 here. Yeah, I was just eavesdropping on Smash GT. I don't know, man. I think online, I think it's reasonable to say that the online is here to stay, for better, for worse. I'll be honest with you. I don't want to be a downer. You already know my opinion here. I don't think locals are going to come back the way that we think they're going to come back, for a few reasons, at least not for a bit. And even when they do, we'll see what happens. So I do think that online will have some degree of utility. Think in terms of like Smash World Tour. So who knows? I think there's just a lot of things that could still happen with online, even with how kind of bad it is. Even if offline does come back, or when it comes back.
I'm just saying, I mean, I don't really care about that personally, since I'm not really much of a competitor anymore, but on the competitor's sake, I don't understand if you have, like, a strong local scene why you'd ever want to, you know, resort to this. I mean, I'm sure people would have their reasons, but whatever. That's a discussion for DNA After Dark.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good discussion, really. It's
No,
the thing
for sure.
is, it's still a good way if people are playing Wi-Fi as a way to like. I know this is only in my weird brain thinks that has some degree of social aspect to it, where you could actually hang out with people who are in bracket, like very similar to like in real life, right? That can translate to online to some degree. Does it always? Not really. It can. But with that in mind, I also think that, you know, even some of the Wi-Fi players who are notoriously so, like, there's probably still some brackets that would be worthwhile, even just to connect with other people you wouldn't otherwise get to play with. Like, locals always restricted you to your area, where at the very least is like, yeah, you might have to region lock some part of online because the connection's bad, but you still get to play against people who are pretty far away. But in any case, we do have a game here. Game 4, and a pretty even game 4 at that.
Yeah, dead even this time around. Town and City, a different pick than I think we had in the last game 4? Or was it on Town? Nah, I don't remember. It doesn't matter. But we're here now. Looking pretty good for Beast right now. Oh, just as I say that, commentator's curse as my indigestion tears me apart. Beast out here, resetting neutral once again with the Razor Leafs. I was going to say, this is definitely a hell of a slobber knocker, I should say. These guys are really just going in and out, like exchanging hits up close, and then once one of them does, they kind of just start chucking their projectiles at each other again. That's not going to happen this time around with Beast, as he is switching right back to the Charizard. What's the ledge trap option? Oh, he's just floating in the air, waiting for him to commit to something. He eventually does, runs below him though. Beautiful timing by JayRay to make his way around that time. That was fearless. That was really one of those like make or break moments where you have to pick something out of the corner, or he's eventually going to approach me with something and just catch me off of some bad reactions potentially. Which you God knows it's definitely easier to have bad reactions on something like Wi-Fi versus offline. Yeah, I thought it was the other way around too.
All right, well, yeah, so that someone's up there taking this stock.
Yes.
It turns out to be Charizard this time. Not out of it yet. JayRay definitely does now have, wow, yeah, even things up effectively, and there it is, deep breathing coming in clutch.
All right, once again, evened out, spamming neutral airs to make sure this guy can get in. JayRay definitely thinking about how to DI that move after the first game of this set for sure. Doesn't want to get caught in any Vine Whip conversions, or at the very least eat more damage from Ivysaur than he has to. Perhaps the man just had Charizard on the brain. Something like that. Wasn't thinking too much about how to DI against Ivysaur. One benefit of the character of Pokemon Trainer being 3-in-1, I suppose.
Yeah, and that's the thing is I was going to mention this earlier. All the Pokemon trainers, that, you know, they're all different too in terms of like what Pokemon preferences they have. Like last week we got to watch. Ooh, boy.
Yeah,
that's gonna
spent
be,
a little too much time in the
set.
air. You don't want to be stalling in the air with any sort of buffs or nerfs or power-ups or Twitter fingers or whatever reason you have for just floating up in the air. Being above your opponent in Smash is always a bad thing, especially if your character has a giant killing up air like Ivysaur. That was not a good place to do deep breathing.
Yeah.
He was at disadvantage right there. He should have recognized that I need to focus on getting back to the stage somehow and resetting neutral, just outmaneuvering this guy to make sure I have a game to play with him rather than just relying on the calling card right there, which it was just one bad moment. I feel like any Wii Fit could have made that
I was just
mistake,
going to say,
you know,
and basically an entire set of pretty good gameplay from JayRay, and unfortunate, yeah, probably bad judgment in terms of where to use deep breathing, but you know, sometimes after a long set like that where it's like the lag was kind of bad, you know, you have a moment like that where, yeah, you just sort of just like, all right, let me just deep breathe here. Like, you kind of go into a weird autopilot of accepting how bad, sometimes how bad the connection can be. and then you lose the set. But otherwise, pretty solidly played. I really like JayRay's Wii Fit, actually. I don't always find myself saying I like a Wii Fit, but like it is fun to see a character used a little bit different.